Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism. Today, we're going to take on a video that relates to healing from narcissistic abuse and how healing means that you're no longer living sort of in their service. Those of you interested in healing, I'm going to only go so deep on that on YouTube. If you really want to do the deeper dive on healing from narcissistic abuse, have the healing program. That link is in the video notes. And if you want a different kind of conversation about narcissism, please listen to my podcast. Again, links on that. I'd love if you could subscribe and listen to that every week. Let's talk about this element of healing. Healing really means that you no longer live in the service of the narcissist. So you are watching this channel because you are trying to understand or get past a narcissistic relationship. At least I'm assuming that, right? One or the other, maybe both. You may be trying to heal from a broken heart from a narcissistic relationship, or from the limiting beliefs you held from a narcissistic childhood, or the exhaustion of a toxic work relationship, right? So a big part of this means evicting them. Evicting them? Yes, evicting them. Think of the narcissist, their words, their scorn, their contempt, their gaslighting, living in your mind like a squatter, living in your soul. They never paid rent, and we let them sit there, afraid to kick them out, afraid of their rage and the shame that they will induce in us if we evict them. How dare you ask me to leave? I am your mother. Or, do you really think you can run this place without me around? Do you know what their contemptuous voice sounds like, right? The fight to get them out of there may feel like too much. So even though we go no contact, low contact, gray rock, yellow rock, this rock, disengage, whatever, you know the drill. They're still there. Their voices mixed in with our voices. Sometimes they're even just whispers, but we can hear them. How could you be so stupid? Or, you really think you can pull that off? Or you think, maybe I'm not ready. Or you hear their voice saying, who do you think you are? You have fully internalized the shame that they offloaded onto you a long time ago. And it sucks. They don't even have to be around anymore. You are judging yourself as they judged you. It's kind of like now we're doing their dirty work for them, right? So you watch this channel, right? You do your healing. And again, a shout out to the folks in my healing program who I really can see are doing the hard work on the healing and walking through this pain. So good on you. But you do the prompts. You come to my workshops. You go to the therapy. You read the books. You get the growth. You may even give yourself permission for your aspirations. And here is where you must be careful. It's a mistake I've made for years in my own healing. And it stopped being a mistake once I did one thing. I stopped making my healing and growth about them. Now, you might be wondering, what does she mean by this? How many of you thought, damn it, I am going to show them. I am going to start this business. I am finally going to finish my degree. I'm going to get that promotion. Or, yes, I can do it. I'm going to become a parent. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get the divorce. I'm going to fall in love. I'm going to buy a new house, a new car, whatever it is, right? I will show them. I will show them that I can do it. I will show them that I won't be a terrible parent like them. I will show them that I am worthy of a true love story and that I can make it. And one day I'm going to drive by them in my new car and slow down with a hot new person on my side. Whatever your revenge fantasy looks like, right? I'll give it to you. Have your fantasy for a minute. I get it. I've had plenty, right? Have it. It's a good catalyst to get you off your ass. But at some point, the earlier the better, stop making it about them. Learn to have the aspiration without bringing them into it. It needs to no longer become like, I'm going to show my father that I can run my own business and don't have to work some stupid, soulless corporate job for someone else. I'm going to prove to him that I could kill it as an entrepreneur. Instead, where I want you to get is, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to run my own business. Because as long as they're baked into your aspiration, it's still their story. You may even run the risk of losing sight of whether this thing you are so wanting to do is actually what you want. Their shame is still right there at the doorway taunting you. Do you really think you can do this? Your aspiration has to be yours and not a reaction to them. Here's the issue. Remember how they didn't notice you while you were in the relationship? They aren't going to notice if you succeed either. They just don't notice anything unless it has something to do with them. Because that's the fantasy, right? That they will notice you. That they will see you as someone outside of them, differentiated with your own identity, your own needs, your own wants and hopes and aspiration. And they'll support them and say, wow, look at you. What an accomplishment. You started your own business. You're so great and you're so cool and interesting. I never realized how amazing you are. Folks, I can promise you that is never going to happen. If you really become successful, it actually may even be an ego injury to them, so they will either reject you or insult you or try to break you down so they can bring you back into their control. I remember once a narcissistic relationship I was in once upon a time. I truly believed that if I killed it, if I made lots of money, or I was able to be really pretty and could be really thin and got lots of notoriety, that this person would love me. Without that, and I didn't have any of those things, this person was pretty disinterested. So I would be like a little puppy, bringing my little accomplishments, big and small, up to them, saying, guess what? Someone said they might be interested in something I'm doing somewhere down the line, or someone at work said what I did was great. Like this, right? Anything to win them over. So I pushed myself to make it, and I pretty damn near developed an eating disorder trying to get to thin. It didn't work out. The person never noticed me, and frankly, as long as the goals were framed as, when I make it, they will see me or I'll show them, I wasn't healing. I was just still trying to deliver narcissistic supply. It wasn't my authentic pursuit, right? It seemed like it, but it wasn't. No accomplishment for me would ever have gotten this person's notice. I could have sat on their front lawn and done a fireworks show and they wouldn't have noticed. I only existed when it was useful for them. Now, I also eat normally, maybe a little more than normally. I've obviously gained weight and I no longer give a damn. Food's too good and life's too short. Now, healing means you exist outside of that relationship, that the narcissist, past or present, doesn't factor into how you frame yourself or view yourself. Sure, you absolutely recognize that the relationship affected you. It did. But healing means moving beyond that. It's breaking out of the cycle of life as a revenge fantasy or a proving fantasy, because then you are still interlocked into that system of trying to be seen by the narcissistic person who is never going to see you. This may be the most difficult part of the process. Too many people are motivated to heal so they can march up to the narcissist and say, yo, you didn't F me up. There's no point. They aren't listening. They don't care. And that was the issue all along. If they cared about that, then probably originally it wouldn't have been narcissistic abuse. I'll give you an example. This is not the story, for example, of an addict who might have had loving parents, who finally does the work, commits to sobriety, gets steady work, gets into healthy relationship, stays sober, comes back to the parent and says, I'm sober, thank you. That original relationship that child had with their parent was embedded in empathy. There's something to go back to then. Now that right there, that's not the narcissistic relationship. You were, as I said in a prior video, you were the storage unit for their shame, which kept you in a subjugated space, forever controlled by them. You were the closet where they stored their dirty stuff, so they could pretentiously prance about, so self-righteous and above everyone, and judging everyone and thinking they were all that. Well, because they put their shame on everyone else, right? And we were often children when the role of shame storage was foisted on us. This is a painful journey, and there is no way to avoid the pain part of it. You will see it. You will get it. You will grieve it. Then you'll see it more clearly, and you will accept it more. And then, most importantly, is you will accept you. Then the languaging around your aspirations shifts, and it becomes, I'm going to go back to school. I've always been interested in urban planning. I'm starting that business. I'm curious to see if the initial success in selling my pies can be scaled up. I'm going to start exercising to get some energy. I met someone, he, she, they're kind to me. Let's see what happens. You see the difference? It's no longer about the narcissist, it's about you. I so want all of you to heal, to move forward, to evict and extract and remove those narcissists from your stories. You know how on TV shows, there's a character, it's a good character, but they kind of let him go after a few episodes. It's like that. All right, they were there for a minute, don't need the character anymore. All of us want to be seen and cherished. It's a human want. Give that gift to yourself, and in time, you will find that you are inviting other people into your life who want to see you grow and not keep you hostage to their own shame. It's a process. It is a process. And some days, many days, are going to feel like setbacks. That's normal in this process. Just keep moving forward into your authentic self, separate from the narcissist. Thanks again.